He's back into the rhythm of the routine.
Here's the dismount, full twisting double back. Great landing.
Everything but the fall, but certainly the fall is going to cost him.
Maybe we can see what happened. This move that he does is called a Gaylord, invented by Mitch Gaylord from the U.S. team. It's essentially like doing a 1.5 flip off a diving board. You go over, and you're going in head first, and you grab the bar as you go by. Wow.
Unfortunately, he didn't get his hands on the bar. He was actually above the grip on his arms.
Salvage the routine. Yeah, salvage the routine, though, pretty much. 9-3, as you saw. Not bad, considering the consequences that he underwent. Li Xiaoshuang, China and floor exercise.
Wait till you see this guy tumble.
Full twisting double back, laid out position. There's so much flair when they work. Everything is fully extended. They show complete amplitude.
The Chinese have had so many great tumblers. Li Ning, Olympic champion in '84, Tong Fei, Li Yuezhu, Lo Yun. They have had the best tumblers in the world for the last several years. And as we mentioned earlier, tumbling is really the basis of all gymnastics. So if you're great in floor exercise, you tend to be great on all the other apparatus. Wow.
Finishes with a double layout. Just one step on that landing. Very high degree of difficulty in that routine.
Has to be very happy with it. Li Xiaoshuang. And remember, the Japanese have faltered on high bar, and they are in a battle with the Chinese for the bronze medal. And you have to think the Chinese gained a lot of ground right here. 9-8 the score for Li Xiaoshuang. And China getting right into the thick of it now.
Watch this flared position right after the twist, going into the second somersault. That's what makes it exceptional.
And the scores, as we mentioned, for Li Xiaoshuang, 9-8 in floor exercise. When we come back, the next rotation, the United States will be on the rings, but the battle still between the Chinese and Japan for third.
It's very clean, but oh, that's a great move. The Maltese cross. The one thing about Jared's style is he doesn't take any unusual risks on rings. It's a clean exercise, but nothing out of the ordinary. I don't think he'll score that well just because of that. You need to show some originality. This is perhaps the best part of the routine. He shows the move there, the Maltese cross, which is a combination of an iron cross and a plunge where your body is parallel to the floor. Then he goes right through to the dismount.
This is a United States team that has been together for quite a period of time. They have, needless to say, gotten very close. Great camaraderie on this team, and the loss of Lance Ringnauld, of course, really hurts them both from an emotional standpoint and from a physical standpoint. Just trying to get it done without a very important link. But even so, remember, this is a team that finished 8th in Stuttgart and certainly will do better than that as we move now to the pommel horse and Li Xiaoshuang.
This sequence is great. Look at the elevation above the horse and the aggressiveness. Once again, the Chinese have superb technique. That's going to score well.
Great routine for Li Xiaoshuang of China. Routinely great, I might add. He's been excellent in just about every event today.
A real trend on the pommel horse is to work across the horse, and notice he's not using the pommels. He's working in the flare, and he's twisting his body back against the direction, but he hasn't touched the pommels. It takes tremendous elevation. The pommels are about 5 inches above the leather.
Now, 3 areas that the judges look for: risk, originality, and virtuosity. The Chinese really show all 3. They take big risks on big skills. They have original skills, but everything is so big in terms of amplitude and style. And that's where the virtuosity comes in.
And that translates to a 9-8 for Li Xiaoshuang. Remember, the Chinese creeping ever so close to the Japanese now in the battle for third. They started this fifth rotation just 4/10 of a point behind as a team. Chris Waller now, the United States on rings.
Chris opened with a back kip to a cross and a kip to an L cross. A lot of gymnasts do their strength moves right at the beginning of the routine when they're fresh, and then they do the swing moves. Chris was a bronze medalist in the Goodwill Games last year on the still rings. Giant swing to handstand, that's a requirement. There's that Yamawaki. Little swing in the rings. Oh, and he does a great job in stopping the swing on that front giant. Notice the rings are completely steady.
Beautifully landed double layout. Chris has competed so well so far in this competition.
To the joy of a whole room full of American supporters here. And right now they are looking at Li Jing on the pommel horse. China, remember, trying to pick up the bronze medal. The Soviet Union is going to win it. Germany, about whom we haven't spoken very much, firmly entrenched in second place. The Americans in a battle with Korea for the fifth position.
Watch this sequence as he travels across the horse.
Scores for Chris Waller, 9-5-5 on the rings.
In order to get big scores, you have to show unusual sequences, take some risks. Oh, just a little bit of a bobble there. Otherwise, a terrific routine.
Li Jing of China, he likes it.
He knew he did a little tap dance on the end of the horse there to keep the rhythm going. No real deduction. And when the judges take a look at all of the difficulty in this exercise, they're going to like it. Look at the body line. Notice how straight his body is. There's the little tap dance. He reached his right hand in to catch his balance, but very few people would catch that minor deduction. That's going to be a great score.
And we'll see. And there it is, 9-9 for Li Jing. That is the highest score we have seen on any apparatus in any rotation so far in the team competition. Li Jing of China, and China right now is sitting pretty.
Excuse me.
Championships. Andreas Wecker now, still in the fifth rotation on the high bar. Germany comfortably in second place.
Wecker, by the way, in 1989 earned the title of Sportsman of the Year in East Germany, and since there's no more East Germany, he is the last man to ever win that title. He's got a big move coming up here. It's a double back over the bar. Great. He's going to do it again. Here it comes. And one more release move. Really aggressive style. The crowd loves it.
Watch the style right here. Deep pike, then lifts his head.
All he has left is the triple.
Oh, he took it way out. Oh, no. Big deduction there at the end.
He really did kind of sling it forward. He knows it.
Really a shame because he really seemed to be right on the rest of his routine.
You can see right as he releases the bar how far he is traveling away from the bar. There is no way he can get his feet underneath him to make that landing.
And 9-5 the score for Wecker. And how much did he lose on that landing?
Well, 3/4 for sure.
Cheney Humphrey of the United States on the rings.
Talking about powerful athletes. Look at that, a forward roll right to a cross and a pull out to an L. This is certainly one of Cheney's best events. Beautiful work right up to the handstand. Great control of the rings. Comes to dismount.
And a full twisting double back. Excellent routine.
So Cheney Humphrey, in one of his best disciplines, should score well for the United States.
really is amazing, the strength that he shows on this routine, and also keeping the ring so perfectly still.
The dismount is actually a full in pike backflip out, a full in the first flip, and there's a piked backflip in the second flip. Makes it easily.
So the score for Cheney Humphrey, 9-7-5. He's got to like that. Meanwhile, the Chinese, who, as we mentioned, are closing in very quickly on the Japanese for the bronze medal. Guolin Yao.
Keep in mind now, the Chinese, like any other team in the competition, saved their best for last. We saw Li Jing get a 9-9 just a moment ago. Guo Lin Yao is even a little longer in body line. Beautiful form. Oh, very difficult sequence over the pommel. This is an incredibly difficult sequence to do at the end of the routine when you're tired. And up to handstand. Wow.
As a matter of fact, Guolin Yao.
They have been amazing on these last two events, the floor exercise and pommel horse.
While the Japanese are struggling, the Chinese are just really pouring it on.
Yeah, they are really on a roll right now.
When you talk about elevation over the pommels, look at how high his hips are as he reaches all the way from one end across to the other end. As you mentioned, Kathy, their moves are just so big.
It's what we call amplitude in gymnastics. The bigness of a skill, the height above the horse.
So for Guolin Yao, 9-8-7-5. Not quite up to that of Li Jing, but not bad. Barry Tompkins, Bart Connor, Kathy Johnson. These are the World Gymnastics Championships. We're at the Hoosier Dome here in Indianapolis. The Soviets continue to have things their way. Frank Keswick, the elder Keswick, if you will, watching his son Scott Keswick prepare to do his thing on the rings. The elder Keswick. Sounds like Charles Dickens, doesn't it?
Scotty is known among the U.S. teammates as the king of the rings, a three-time U.S. national champion on the rings. He's very confident up there. Even when he was a young man in Las Vegas when he was coached by Dusty Ritter, he showed incredible strength, as you can see here, inverted iron cross. Excellent control. Stops it dead in a handstand. There's a big dismount.
Whoa, double twisting, double back. One of just a few done in the competition.
Dad liked it. Crowd liked it. Well, the judges like it.
It's hard to tell how difficult this dismount is because he does it so easily, but to crank two flips and two twists, it's very, very difficult.
The score for Scott Keswick, 9-7-7-5. That will certainly help his team. And again, team is the operable word here. It is a team competition, and here is the hot team of the moment. The Chinese, we mentioned earlier, they've been in a battle for the bronze medal with Japan. Well, right now, Germany best start looking over its shoulder because China's coming, and Germany's going in the other direction. They've had some problems in this rotation on high bar. Not so for the Chinese. Li Chunyang on the pommel horse.
Li Chunyang is brilliant on the pommel horse. He's more known for his work on the high bar. He was the world champion 2 years ago. We saw him make a mistake here earlier today. But being last up on the Chinese team, their lowest score to this point is a 9-7-2-5, and their highest a 9-9. And once again, another great exercise.
Not going to hurt them at all. It should help them. Meanwhile, we talk about team competition. The Soviets are clearly going to win the gold medal. Here's another part of the reason that they will. Grigory Misutin.
Misutin is one of the favorites of the Soviet coach Arkayev, particularly because he has such good style.
And a 9-8 for Chunyang on the pommel horse. So the Chinese now closing in on the Germans for second.
All of their scores have been between 9-8 and 9-9 now, the ones that count.
And for Misutin, routinely outstanding. could see the scene here as the Hoosier Dome has been turned in really to one arena where everything is happening and another arena where everybody prepares for everything to happen. It's the Soviet Union with Germany. China is coming. Well, the United States now in its final rotation on the vault. This is Patrick Kirksey.
Graduate of the University of Nebraska. He's performing a Kazamatsu. Very well done. Just that step on the landing. That will be a slight deduction. He's come a long way from the Atlanta School of Gymnastics, where he and I both trained many years ago. It's been fun watching him develop from a skinny little kid into a fine gymnast.
And
a lot of power.
Likewise, his team has come a long way. The United States, as we mentioned, finishing 8th in this particular event. At Stuttgart 2 years ago, they will be at the very least 6th in this competition. Right now, the show, besides the Soviets who will win the gold, belongs to the Chinese. This is Li Xiaoshuang on the rings, and the Germans just simply have not gotten it done in the past 2 rotations.
We saw him on the floor exercise get a 9.8 a couple of rotations before, and this event for him is just terrific. He is strong, has excellent control. Look at that L cross. It doesn't even look like it's hard for him. Good
Chinese.
rhythm. He hits all the positions just right.
The Chinese do have one low score on this event that they hope to drop with this performance.
It's kind of the gymnast's eye view of the dismount.
Oh, beautifully done. Nice straight body position. You can really see the perfect form from that angle.
And that should just about do it for the Chinese so far as second place is concerned.
They really have been just unbelievable in the floor exercise, the pommel horse, and the rings. Their last 3 events, we saw them have all kinds of trouble on the high bar.
And likewise, the Germans have gone the other way in the last 3 events, but particularly so on the high bar and on the discipline they are in this 6th and final rotation, that being the floor exercise. So joy reigning amongst the Chinese team right now. Li Xiaoshuang, 9-9 on the rings, and that's the final nail in the coffin so far as the Germans are concerned. This is Andreas Becker on floor exercise, but it really doesn't matter what he does. They have had some woeful scores, frankly, on floor X to this point. A 9.575, a 9.425, a 9.475. There was 1.97 and a 9.2. So the Germans have just come apart.
Andreas Becker is such a complete gymnast. He was 4th in the all-around at the World Championships a couple of years ago, and he really doesn't have a weak event. But if you had to pick apart his floor exercise, he doesn't tumble with the difficulty that you see from some of the Chinese or the Soviets. He has great style. Watch this wide arm press to a handstand. Tim Daggett from the U.S. team used that move.
You're right, Bart. The level of difficulty in this routine really isn't up to par with the top gymnasts. But you'll notice here on his dismount, he truly performs to his potential. Finishes with a full twisting double back. Ooh! Big hop on the landing. Almost went out of bounds.
Saved it, though. Kept it in bounds.
That was the best part of the routine. High level of difficulty in the dismount.
And this really speaks well for him. He truly uses technique to pull this off at the end of his routine when the gymnast is tired. It's the same pass that he used on his first tumbling run.
And so Andreas Becker with a score of 9.750, a pretty good score, but too little too late for the Germans, who will have to settle for the bronze medal here. The Soviets will win the gold, and the Chinese, with 2 wonderful rotations, in fact 3 wonderful rotations, will try to finish it up with a flourish now. Liu Jing on the rings.
He opens with a back kip to an iron cross. Great strength combination. L cross, press to an L, and a press to a handstand. Remember, the judges need to see the gymnast do a press to a handstand as well as a swing to a handstand. There's the inverted iron cross. And that move there is a swing to a handstand. Oh, he's just a little shaky, trying to control the rings. You'll notice they're swinging, slight deductions. Strong finish, though.
Stuck the landing perfectly. Li Jing closes it out in brilliant fashion for the Chinese. But the story, once again, in the team competition was the Soviet Union. We'll be back. Well, once again, Bart, it is a team competition, and you simply will not find a better team than the Soviets. While we're away, Vitaly Sherbo just kind of putting the icing on the cake for this team.
The Soviets are so sharp. They always do excellent exercises with full level difficulty. And in many cases, they take advantage of the opportunity at a meet like the World Championships to introduce new tricks and really take the sport to a new level. Sherbo has done that over the last couple of years. He was the Goodwill Games all-around champion.
Can they be beat in the Olympic Games?
I just don't think so. I think they could bring a whole new team to Barcelona other than the 6 that compete here and still win. They're that deep.
And now you have to wonder what the future, of course, of team gymnastics in the Soviet Union will be, with the Soviet Union being as fragmented as it now has become.
Well, as you mentioned, the top 12 teams from here will compete in the Olympic Games in Barcelona. And in gymnastics particularly, the Soviet Union will have to compete as one. They will not be able to break up into different republics because they didn't qualify as such. But we all have to wonder if the next major event, the Georgians will be winning and the Ukrainians will be winning, and that moves everybody else in the world down a few spots as well. Every republic could have a wonderful team.
Really is going to be very interesting. So the Soviet Union, really the story, but I'll tell you what, nothing to hang your head about if you're on the United States team. Kathy Johnson right now with Scott Keswick.
Scott, a lot of added pressure because Lance Ringnauld not in the competition. What kind of effect do you think that had on the team?
Well, I think everyone was the same way. We felt a little added pressure, but we tried not to change our game plan. We didn't want to hold back. We tried to make up ground rather than just hold our place, and we were just aggressive, and we had a few mistakes, and it cost us, but I'm real proud of this team. We stuck together, and I think we did a good job.
Some unbelievable highs, but there were those lows. How difficult was it coming back from the lows to come up with what you did say on rings?
It's you just have to dig down. You know, there's more than one meet involved here. There's all-around finals and event finals, and so that's what I tried to do. I tried to pick myself back up for the team and for myself, and I'm real happy about the last 2 events coming back. That was a big plus for me.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you.
12 teams go to the Olympic Games. Here are the 12. Soviet Union wins the gold yet another time. China, brilliant for second. They get the silver. Germany wins the bronze. Then it's Japan. More than creditable 5th for the United States. Korea, Italy, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Switzerland, and Great Britain. They'll all see you in Barcelona. The 1991 World Gymnastics Championships from Indianapolis were brought to you today by Diet Coke. You're going to drink it just for the taste of it. And by Bud Dry. Dry brewed so it drinks light, yet satisfies completely. What we've seen here tonight is an assemblage of athletes. Not just ordinary athletes, mind you. Oh, maybe Li Jing might have trouble with a curveball, and perhaps Igor Korobchinsky might not be able to run down Barry Sanders. But I think you'll agree these are amongst the best athletes in the world. It's a little bit of everything that goes into the making of this sport, making it the spectacle it is. You want speed? Imagine Carl Lewis finishing a race with 2.5 twists and landing solidly on 2 feet, rather like the vault. You want athleticism? Imagine Sergei Bubka pole vaulting and coming down with a triple flip, sort of like the high bar. You want grace? Think about a slam dunk followed by a handstand followed by a double backflip, something like what we saw in Florex. The pommel horse and rings take skills that ask for part Hulk Hogan, part Mikhail Baryshnikov. You want great athletes? You got gymnastics. For Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson, I'm Barry Tompkins. See you next time.